Let's talk to the trans community. They have been as loud and as belligerent and mean as the Christians and the right. You don't have to give in to give respect. I need you guys to stop your definition of an adult female. It really wasn't that helpful. I'm not here to compete with women. I'm here to complete me. The definition of a woman doesn't matter. And I cannot believe how many women still feel like they are less than a man. All right, now I am Alyssa. So when I'm dressed as Kevin, I go by Kevin. And when I'm dressed like this, I go by Alyssa. Now, make no mistake about it. My purpose is not to feminize men. In fact, it is the absolute opposite of that. I believe in strong men. I believe in strong women. That doesn't mean that every man has to be the same or every woman has to be the same. But I have been extremely surprised, so surprised when I've been waiting my whole life to tell some important people this and say, look, I get this world. I've been wanting to grab some people that I've come across throughout my life and say, hey, I understand that. I understand why that is important to you. And so now, since I've been able to come out and do that, I have been absolutely surprised at the reaction. Absolutely surprised. You know, some women are just like, oh my goodness, that's great, right? And it's not that I'm trying to compete with them. This has nothing to do with other women. That's why the definition of a woman doesn't matter. I'm not here to compete with women. I'm here to complete me. And some women are capable of going, oh my gosh, have you experienced this or this or this? Isn't this wonderful? But what has been so surprising and so disappointing is how many women go, what? Why? Why would you want to go backwards? Why would you want to go backwards? I don't understand. You have this male privilege. Why would you want to go backwards? And I wasn't expecting that reaction. That blew my mind, you know, which validates what Matt said in the movie. You know, it really, really does. He said, you know, for all time, women have been thought to be a certain thing. And then he had in the background Daisy Duke and her little Daisy Duke shorts and models and actresses in swimsuits. And that is so telling. That's right. For all time, pretty much women have been thought of as a commodity. And I cannot believe how many women still feel like they are less than a man. That blows my mind. So no, we need stronger women as much as we need stronger men. I know there's a lot of men out there that are strong, and that's what I want. Do I want grooming? Yes. I want to groom little boys into being strong men, strong, independent men that are free thinkers, that are driven by purpose instead of status. You know, not everybody was built when there's a bullying situation or something going on to get involved and interfere with that. But there are some people that wouldn't be comfortable not getting involved and interfering with that because they were born to protect. They were born to fight for others. And what are you saying, Alyssa? Are you saying that only men have to agree with you? No, not at all. The opposite is true. I'm saying those men that were built to protect and defend, agreeing is not a prerequisite. There's nothing about agreeing or understanding that person that is important with protecting that person. I'm saying there are men out there that are not challenged by the outside of their beverage. I have never in my entire life consumed something that I didn't want to consume because I wasn't capable of dealing with a reaction to the outside of that container, you know. And there are other men that will seek out that container just as evidence to show a sign of everybody that they're willing to fight for and protect. It's not about understanding it. It's not about agreeing with it. You don't have to give in to give respect. And there are men out there that say, I'm here. If you're in danger, if you're not in a good place, come here. I don't know you. I don't need to know you, but I'm capable of protecting you. And I feel like I am that kind of a man. So, you know, I am not here to feminize men. The opposite is true. We need stronger girls. We need stronger men that are respectful and that understand that women are no longer a certain thing, that they're a people. They're not chattel. They're not a commodity. They're contributors, and they're equal contributors. You know, you asked what a woman was, and your definition of an adult female, it really wasn't that helpful. But let's just use this movie and get examples from that as far as what is a woman, because you came at every single person with ill intent to ask them questions and then abuse them with the information that they provided you. And how did those women respond? They were strong, they were respectful, they were kind, they were sensitive. But when you pushed it, they became very defensive and even fierce and protective of the community that they're protecting, that they're willing to protect even though nobody else is, that they're willing to treat even though nobody else is. So they're extremely strong and protective, but kind and gentle and respectful. And if they're all of those things when you're mistreating them, imagine what they're capable of when you're honoring. Yeah, that'll blow your mind. That's a big deal. So women's a lot of different things. Now, do I identify with everything that a woman goes through? No, not at all. Do I know what it's like to be a woman? I don't. I never had that experience. While they were learning how to be a woman, I was learning how to be a man and doing the absolute most I could with that responsibility that I have. So I don't have to understand every experience that a woman has to want to feel like this, to want to present as this, because this is where I feel whole. This is where I heal. This is what makes me happy. Do I have responsibilities over here that I still have to take care of? Yes, I do. And I will take care of those. But I'm proud to be a man, and I'm proud when I represent a woman, because they're not a certain thing to me. It is a world that's full of texture and vibrance and so much emotion and so much sensitivity and caring and nurturing. And it's a world that most men simply will not experience, because that's not how they were built. And then that's okay. So I am not interested in grooming anybody into changing anything that they are not. I'm interested in helping everybody be the absolute best of who they are. So this is not grooming. Okay, now let's talk to the trans community. Now, a minute ago, I just called myself a man and that I was proud to be a man. And right now, I'm proud to look this way and to identify with women in so many areas. I'm proud of that, and I'm happy to do that. And I take so much heat from the trans community about this. They have been as loud and as belligerent and mean as the Christians and the right. All of this "stop calling yourself a trans woman" stuff is wearing me out. Do I probably fit the definition of a trans woman who's living her life every single day as a woman? No, that doesn't represent me, and I understand why you're upset with that. But what you have to understand is this. I made a decision really early on, right before I came out, that said I was just going to call myself trans Alyssa. I wasn't going to be gender expansive Alyssa. I wasn't going to be non-binary Alyssa. And this is why. Because if I made any progress that's good for this community, I didn't want it to apply to a pronoun. I wanted it to apply to an entire spectrum. That's why I choose to use the word trans, because it's generic. It simply means to cross over. So stop sending me stuff that's so mean and vile, because I don't represent your journey. I know I don't. Nor do I represent the women's journey, nor do I represent the man's journey, and that's where I've had to be most of my life. I don't represent any of them. I represent my journey and what I need and what I'm capable of. Not everybody has the ability to present this way and to connect with this side of the world, but I do. And just because I have choices that some people don't have, it doesn't make me an imposter. It doesn't make me fake. It doesn't make me less of a human. I need you guys to stop coming after me. Stop hunting in the pack and start hunting as a pack. That is going to be an important thing. The problem is that you're pressuring people by saying things like, hey, you're not trans enough. Stop doing this until you can do this. Stop doing that, because you are forcing people who are not at the level that you're at or have the needs that you need to go further than what is good for them. That is not fair. We don't all exist to support or validate your struggle, your fight, who you are. I don't have to represent you. They don't have to represent you. They have to be happy. They have to be whole. They have to go no further than what is right for them. That's equilibrium. So stop asking other people to validate you by not using pronouns you want to use. You can't demand from everybody that they use pronouns and then you tell me to stop, calling myself a trans woman. I don't know that I've ever called myself a trans woman, but I call myself trans Alyssa because I want whatever good I can do to affect the entire spectrum. So that is why I do it. Would gender expansive maybe be more honest or more descriptive? Probably. But then who's that going to help? No, that person's okay. They're not transgender. They're just gender expansive. They're not the threat. No. Whatever I do good, I want it to be good for everybody. I'm not here to protect pronouns. I'm here to protect people. That is the bottom line. So that is why I do that. So stop sending me so much stuff. Now listen, I know you're upset. I know you're angry at the friends that you've lost, at the family that you've lost. You fought so hard for so long, and then a movie like this comes out and makes everybody even more hostile towards you. I get it. It's so frustrating. It's so discouraging. You're already so tired. And what I would say to you is hang in there, because there are good people out there trying to figure this out. There are good people that want to understand this, that want to support you, and they just need to understand it differently or better to feel comfortable supporting you and defending you. And we can't run them off before they get that information that they need. And we have to cut through so much of this garbage like this movie in order to show them exactly who you are and what you're capable of. I don't represent this community as all over me, but I have some advice to you because it affects me as well. Right now with all of this, with all the hostility, with all the crazy issues, there's a few things that I think it would be important to be aware of. But I think what would be best for this community right now, number one, is to disengage from the LGB community. Disengage because you're hurting them. Disengage because you're probably going to be ousted out anyway sooner than later, because it is hurting them, because they can't go in public now without being accused of grooming trans people. People are putting that together and they're calling everything a grooming. So this community, the gay community, is taking a beat down for the trans community. So people are not yet able to differentiate those two groups, and so it's not good for them. Would they be stronger without the trans community in it? Yes, they would. Would the trans community be stronger outside of that? Not if there's strength in numbers. However, you would have a louder voice. You would have a louder voice and you would have more support, because we need to give people a safe place to support it without being exposed to things that they're not comfortable with or that don't represent you and your struggle. So give them a different place, a different area, a different space, a different perspective of supporting you and understanding you. Again, this is not about being against the gays. I am 100% for the gays. It's just that does not represent anything I'm going through or anything that I am trying to help. So I think that is going to be critical for you. Number one, to separate yourself from the gay community and create your own and be the best and be a voice and just do your best work, and then you don't have to justify anything. Right now with all the hostility, with all of the abrasion and friction out there, I think what needs to happen is you need to lay down your weapons. Lay them down, put down your weapons, put down your armor, and just rest. We've been fighting a very, very long time, and we're starting to bleed on people that didn't cut us. Put down your weapons and heal. Just heal and be. I'm not suggesting that this is the time to do less. I'm suggesting that this is the time to be more. Be more patient. Good people are wanting to figure this out. So be patient. Be patient with yourself. You don't have to understand everything today. You don't have to have an answer for everything yesterday. Just be patient. Let people catch up. We have to cut through movies and information like this, but don't give up on you and don't give up on the people around you. Don't give up on your families. Don't give up on your churches. Just be available should that be a safe place for you to be, and that's where you want to be. But be patient. That would be my thing. Be understanding. This is tough. Think how hard you've struggled to understand this your entire life, and you live it. You live it every day. You breathe it every breath. and you're trying to figure it out. So be understanding that others can't grasp the possibility of this, especially when they're told it's nothing but evil and deviant and all of those other terrible things. So, be understanding of others' perspectives and where they are. They don't have the experience to have the opinion that you have. Be grateful. Be grateful for the people that stayed engaged in your life and support you, even though they don't understand it. They still are there for you. They're protecting you. So be grateful for those people. Those people don't need to be in your life every single minute in order to support you. They've got their own lives to live. But as long as they are, for whatever season they are in your life, then be grateful for them and show them how grateful you are by behaving in a way that they're proud to defend you. Right now they're defending you, and some of us are doing crazy things that are making the rest of us look crazier than this. So behave in a way that people are proud to defend you. Be approachable. Be approachable. People do want to understand. The problem is every time they miss a pronoun or something else, people start going off and screaming. They get upset. You don't respect me, this and that. Be approachable. If they're coming up to you, it's because they want to learn. They want to understand. But right now it's gotten to the point where it is easier to avoid you than approach you. It is easier to completely go around you and not include you than it is to risk the abrasion and friction that's going to come from when they do slip up in pronoun or whatever else. So be approachable, be kind, be patient. Let them learn, let them grow, let them understand at an organic rate when they're not being groomed by somebody else as to what you're not. Be an example. Be an example for the other kids. Be an example for little girls. If you're a trans woman, be an example of how a woman behaves. Act proud, act respectable, be kind, be helpful, be generous, be nurturing. Be an example for everybody that sees you. That's important because some of the examples out there are hurting us. They're hurting all of us, and we're having to account for a few people that are just too angry and too hurt to be civil right now. So please be a good example. Don't set me up for abrasion because of how you treated the person that I'm going to have to deal with soon. So, be a safe place for questions. Be inviting, but be a safe place for sure. I don't know that everybody feels safe approaching someone and saying, hey, I want to understand this better. I want to know it better. Can I ask you some questions? So be a safe place for people to come. And if you can alleviate the suspicion, then you're going to alleviate also a lot of the friction. And that's really what we need. But be respectful of other people's opinions. Your opinion is important, and you're demanding respect of your opinion, and that's great, but you have to respect everybody's opinion. This isn't about us getting our way. This is about everybody getting to live in a healthy way. So, your opinion is important. I know that. I'm fighting for mine. But be respectful of everybody's view. And hormones are scary, and they have, issues, and surgeries are scary. And a lot of people, this is a religious issue or a spiritual issue. So just be sensitive to their belief system and their experiences because they don't have enough information yet to change their mind. So give them the information that might be useful to them. Being an ally does not mean agreeing with you on every single thing. They don't have to believe like you. They don't have to think like you. They don't have to accept everything that's good for you or right for you to be an ally. An ally is somebody that will protect somebody else. If we're an ally with another country, we have that country's back, they have our back. That's how that works. It doesn't mean that we agree on every policy or we even have the same policies. It means that we respect each other and we will defend each other. So if someone doesn't agree with some part of your life, which they can't because they don't understand it, and it would be crazy to just agree things that you don't understand and don't know that are dangerous. So being an ally does not mean believing or agreeing with everything you think. Don't chase off the people that are willing to support you and fight for you and defend you because you're offended that they don't buy everything that you know is good for you. So please don't chase off the few allies that we have. This is one of the most important ones. This is what the community needs as much as anything. Take the word transphobic out of your vocabulary. That word has never done more good than it has bad. This is not the time for us to be damaging any relationships. There's no use for that word in your vocabulary because this is such a difficult thing to understand, and there's so much discombobulated information like Matt has put out, and they should be suspicious. They should be cautious until they know it's safe. And when you're bundled in with a group that they may or may not already approve of or appreciate, it makes it even more suspicious. So take that word out of your vocabulary. That's like someone walking up to you and every time you don't agree with them, they go, "Scaredy cat." No, I'm not a scaredy cat. I just don't agree with that. I don't know enough to validate what you're saying. So you're afraid. No, I'm not afraid. I just haven't got enough information yet. So you're just a chicken? No, I'm not a chicken. In fact, I want to support you. I just don't know enough yet to make sure that it's safe. Oh, you know what? I'm sick of this. You're just too afraid. You probably spend your whole life in fear. That whole transphobic does not do any of us any good, and it surely does not honor you saying that to anybody. That does not help. Please take that word out of your vocabulary, and you're going to feel so much better. Now, I got to say some strong things because some strong things are important, but it is critical that this community understand that the trans card does not come with privileges. There are no privileges that come with the trans card. There's perspective that comes with the trans card, and that's your advantage. Perspective. There are no privileges. You shouldn't get rights. You shouldn't get extra freedoms. You shouldn't get extra protections. You surely should not get an advantage anywhere. Nobody is going to be okay except in a group that comes with an advantage. That's why you have to eliminate transgender girls playing with cisgender girls if they experienced a male puberty. You have to be done with that. That's not going to work. That wouldn't be good for you. That wouldn't be good for the community. We don't need an advantage, period. That is not about gender identity. That's about physical ability. I want everybody to participate, but excuse me, but it has to be fair. It has to be fair. If you accepted any right, any privilege, any access, let me tell you what would happen. You would become an entitled group. You would think you were entitled to all of this extra special stuff for whatever reason. And that is the shortest distance to being a hostage. You don't need, right? You have the rights that you need. Is a rule of conduct in place for everybody already. And if we don't have the rights that we need, which we don't in some states because Matt's, taking off healthcare, whatever, that's what we need to address. But don't feel entitled. We cannot have an entitled mentality in this group, or it will destroy this group. This group will never be mainstream if they expect advantages or privileges. That it wouldn't be good for you. We don't need that. Your habits, your discipline, your attitude, those will get you everywhere you need to be. Just concentrate on those. Lastly, it is tough. It is tough. And some of the problems that we have, most people that are in a position to help us with those problems don't understand it. So here's my advice to every trans person out there. Be the solution to your own problem. People are not equipped. The doctors are not equipped. The mental health professionals can't even agree on what is good or bad. You are going to have to learn how to become your own solution for your problems. You've got to be creators, not complainers. We have to create the solutions that we need. Quit waiting around and demanding stuff from other people. No, they don't understand it enough to put it together right for us. So you be the solution for your own problems. Go create some leagues that are all-inclusive leagues, or however you want to phrase it. Go be the solution for all of our problems. That's how we're going to get ahead. We're going to get ahead, and we're going to fit into mainstream if everybody stops expecting, quit demanding, start performing, and just be your best self. We all want to be around people that are their best self. So go be your best self. There are a lot of people fighting for you. There's a lot of people that want to support you, but some of us are tired, and we've been hurt, and we've been hurt, and we've been hurt. And hurt people hurt people. So there's got to be some fresh people stepping up and saying, hey, it's okay. I'll take a punch. Come here. I want to help you understand this better in a different intention. So be the solution to your own problems. Do your best work. We have the rights that we need. let's go out there and do our best. I get that I don't represent you, but I support you. I support everybody. And stop hunting in the pack and start hunting as a pack and get strong enough to pull yourself out of that LGB group, stop doing damage to them, and stop holding back your own support and your own progress as well. So I know I was only talking to, a few trans people, but those few trans people are making it very difficult for the rest of us. So, all right, keep up the good fight. Don't give up. I know you've had some dark thoughts and you've had some dark days, but brighter days are coming. Better, stronger people are coming. It's all right there within our reach. So don't give up now. Hang in there. See ya. Oh, oh my goodness, that was not good. Okay, the 4th of July is coming up. And that's always a really, really special time for me. That's a great holiday for me. And, families get together. It's one of the holidays that a lot of people will go out of their way for, to get together with loved ones and friends and families and barbecue and do all the fun stuff, So the 4th of July is coming up. There's going to be a lot of guys out there grilling and drinking. And the reality is there'll be a lot of guys that just drink too much and they let their wives drive home. So it's probably going to be a little dangerous. So you be careful out there for sure. Be careful. It could be dangerous. Oh, that was offensive? Oh, well, don't get offended. Stop getting offended when there's no harm being intended. Stop already. People are allowed to say what they want to say. They're allowed to be lighthearted. So stop getting offended every time you hear something that you think warrants being offended. Let me tell you something. The lion doesn't care what the sheep's opinion is. Be a lion. Don't go asking for validation from the sheeple. There will always be sheeple to say something derogatory and negative to you. Stop asking for validation from sheeple. Be the lion. You have a pride. Your pride are the people that support you, that have been there for you, that are defending you now, that are taking bullets for you. They may have to lose friends and people along the way as well just to protect you. So protect your own pride for whatever season they're in your life. But stop getting offended. Be a lion. We need lions that aren't constantly running around trying to attack. We need leaders. So stop being offended. I surely did not mean to offend you, but I wanted to prove that point. So now that we know better, let's go do better. Be your best self. And if you want to keep reaching out, then you know how to get a hold of me on my Transalissa, account, or you could also reach out to Transalissa at gmail.com if you want to send some information that you think I need, where I'm missing the boat. I want to hear all of your opinions. I'll take the good, I'll take the bad. I'm not here to be right. I'm here to grow. I'm here to be correct. So if you have information that I need, then please give it. But let's go do our best work right now with all the switches that we have. Let's get it.